What is up, guys? Welcome to the ThinkComputers Weekly Tech Podcast. This is episode 214. This episode is brought to you by Amazon. If you go to thinkcomputers.org/Amazon and happen to purchase something, that of course gives us a little kickback and helps the podcast keep on going. Also, if you want to support us, we have our own merch store, thinkcomputers.org/merch. We have sweatshirts, t-shirts, mugs, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff if you want to support us that way as well. With me is my co-host Ryan. What's going on?
Nothing. Had some clouds today, but it finally at the end of the day kind of sun broke through and it was actually pretty nice out tonight. So
it is pouring here.
It's been kind of cloudy, foggy, and a little wet. So it was nice to see the sun.
If I disappear, it's because of my power went out. It's like one of those things where it's raining really hard and your power just it's a good chance it might go out. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So in any case, let's first we were on a podcast last week, which I think was pretty cool.
We were.
We were on the Home Gadget Geeks podcast. And they're kind of like a more kind of we're really focused on gaming and of course enthusiast stuff.
Yep.
And I would say they are more focused on the broader aspect of tech,
Yeah, I mean, for a while, their landscape of the show shifts a little bit, for a long time they'll be into storage and networking and home server, right? So they've got a wide variety of things just kind of for the normal tech guy, the tech enthusiast that isn't necessarily all about the component builds and the high-end gaming. Not that they don't like that stuff, but that's just not what their bread and butter is for everyday shows. But yeah, no, it was great to be on there, talk to some tech, and yeah, it's good to be on there with Jim. Mike wasn't on there, but I believe he's back and will be on their show tomorrow live. So
yeah, I had a lot of fun. That's the first time I was on a couple of podcasts before, but not like a live stream one. Like we're just this is how we found StreamYard was from them. From them. So it was great to be on there. And we have our show notes, which are linked in the description below if you're watching this video on YouTube. And we have the link to that podcast there.
Yeah.
So you guys can go ahead and check that out. Again, I had a lot of fun. Thanks, Jim, for having us on.
Yeah, I think we'll be back on there, later in the year as well.
Yeah, and we should
talk about some of our stuff
and here
definitely
as well. Because they do some really cool storage stuff that I'm not super into, but I think I would like to be more into it if I had time to learn all of the stuff that they do over there. So so check that out. It is in the show notes. And we'll move right on to reviews. And it's kind of funny that I talk about storage because I reviewed another super fast portable SSD, which I think
there's been a few of them lately.
Yeah, I have two more here as well that I'll be reviewing over the next couple of weeks. So the big thing, as I talked about with the one we did, I think it was last week or the week before, is that we're moving from USB, I just forgot what it's called now, USB 3.2 Gen 1 to USB 3.2 Gen 2.
Yeah.
So we're basically getting faster drives. And I took a look at, I don't have my screen shared.
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. Let me share my screen so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. I thought I did. There we go.
Yeah, and if you're not a live listener, or a video listener, definitely check out the live stream sometime or the video playbacks on YouTube because you miss out on all the visuals and everything. So
yeah, and you miss out on me messing
on our beautiful faces and
yeah. Well, luckily you get to see the screen more than our face, which I think is better.
Yeah.
But anyways, I took a look at the ORICO GV100. That's their USB 3.2 Gen 2 portable SSD. I wish I had it. I don't. Oh, I do have it. So again, for all you guys on let me bring this up here. But for all you guys on here, it is just this tiny little drive. I mean, you can see just how small it is. And oops. See, now I'm just messing up. Yeah, wait.
We'll do it live.
Yeah, there it goes.
There it is.
So, so it is this super tiny drive, and the reason I love these drives is just because they're so fast and they're so portable. Again, this little thing, I can just throw this in my pocket. It's it's slightly bigger than a normal flash drive. So, and this one is 512 gigabytes, but I believe they make a 1 terabyte as well. And a lot of companies make 2 terabyte versions. So just so much storage that you can have. This one is quite fast. They rate it at 940 megabytes a second read and write. It's made of pretty much, that has this aluminum casing on it, which I like. This sort of key ring is ABS plastic, which I kind of dinged it a little bit, because if you do put this on keys, you don't want that to break off, obviously.
Yeah. It would have been nice if it was aluminum.
Well. But the whole thing would have been aluminum, would have been nice, but if you look at our speeds here, you're getting over a gig a second on reads. Writes is about 935, basically up to their advertised speeds. And these are like, for me, this is like the perfect editing drive, right? I can take this with me. I can just connect it to my main PC and edit on it. And then I can, if I'm on the go, I can connect it to my laptop and I have those super fast speeds. It's just a perfect little drive. Cool. The only thing that this drive would be missing, which some people might like, because it is a portable drive, there's no encryption on this, and there's no software, no backup software as well. So a lot of other companies, bigger companies, will give you, encryption, and they will give you some type of backup software. So you'll kind of have to figure that out on your own. But for what it is, I think it's just an awesome little drive. I think this one is right around $100 for the 512 gigabyte too. So I don't think that's really a bad price for what you're getting as far as speed. And like I said, I love these little portable drives. There's not a whole lot I can say about it because it's just a portable drive. You know what I mean?
Are they like a new company? I know we've looked at a couple products from them, but I feel like in the last year is when I started hearing about them.
I don't know exactly how new they are. I think they're newer to like North American market. Okay. So yeah, like I said, so far, both the products that they've sent us have been really good, and they're solid. Like, we haven't had issues with any of their products. Mm-hmm. Again, the only thing I ding this for is no encryption, no software, and then this little piece I would like it to be metal. But I gave it 9 out of 10. Like I said, I like it. I think that it's an awesome little drive, and I think that everybody should have one of these. And like, again, it's not expensive. I think $100 for something that you could really make a lot of use for.
I'll be looking for it in the mail. So you just send it
over. But yeah, like I said, definitely check out that review for sure. And that brings us over to a gaming headset, and a wireless gaming headset. And I think that what's kind of crazy is the reason I reviewed this, because I had the wireless charger, because this is wireless. But I think I should have sent this over to you, because the headset that you're using right now is kind of like the main competitor to this headset.
Okay. Which that surprises me, but I think we'll get to that in a minute. But
I think, yeah, it does, because I feel it. I haven't used your headset, which is the Corsair Virtuoso. I haven't used that, but I feel that the Virtuoso, at least quality-wise, is a better headset. But again, I haven't used them both. But the headset that I took a look at was HyperX's Cloud Flight S, part of the Cloud series, which, if you've known HyperX, that's kind of how they entered the gaming realm, is with their cloud. Like, I remember the Cloud 2. I have the Cloud Mix, which is a Bluetooth headset, which is like my Bluetooth headset. I take it to the gym. I love the Cloud headsets, but this one, I'm not going to say I don't like it, because I think it's a really good headset. I have it here. It's just sitting here. It's a great gaming headset. But the thing that bothers me, and I really wish I would have brought the other one in here. I don't have it like within where I can pick it up. But the thing they changed with the Cloud Flight S compared to their other cloud headsets is this is all plastic.
That's exactly what I was hinting at, right? Like the aluminum build of this Corsair headset compared to that.
Yeah.
They're supposed to kind of be that competitor. Now, I think there's some features, or at least one of them for sure, on that headset that I really like that this doesn't have. But
yeah, so
that build quality maybe.
I think the reason that you're getting that, and we'll see this with a lot of these companies, is that people want a lighter weight gaming headset. And not just PC gamers, but this will work with PS4, I believe, too. So when you get to that console gamer, they want like a lighter headset. Like, you can, bend this pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
So like I said, I'm such a fan of that original cloud build that they use for the Cloud 2, the Cloud Mix. Like, I love that, and it's just missing here, and that's just kind of takes away a few points for me. It's just, it doesn't seem as high quality. You know what I mean?
Yep. Gotcha.
But this is completely wireless. It's 2.4 gigahertz wireless. So again, it's designed to be a gaming headset, so you don't want any lag there. And you're not going to get any. It comes with the dongle. The dongle does work with PC and PS4. I was reading online that somebody also got it to work with, if you have an adapter for your Switch, you can also use it that way, which is cool as well. It's very comfortable. I like it. There's not a whole lot else. It does have 7.1 surround sound. And the thing I have to say about the 7.1 surround sound is that it is good. But this headset and the other Razer one, which I took a look at last week, they use that THX spatial audio, and I feel that the THX spatial audio is better than the 7.1 in this. Now, I know it's not exactly fair to compare a wireless headset with a wired headset, but for me, the differences, especially in gaming, you can tell, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Now, the cool thing about this headset is, one that we talked about, is that it is wireless, but it's also wireless charging. Cool. So you can actually, on this ear cup is where the Qi charger is, and you can set this down on, those chargers you have for your iPhone. I used it with the actual HyperX one, which
that's what I think is pretty cool. If you're in that HyperX ecosystem, right, and you have that, what's the base called? The
Charge Play base. That's what.
So I mean, I think that's pretty cool.
So we already reviewed their Pulsefire Dart, which is their wireless mouse, which would also work on this. So you could charge your headset and your mouse both in one spot, both with the same charger. Super easy. So being able to the problem that I have with so many wireless headsets is that I don't charge them because I just hate cables. I'm so used to, with my iPhone, I just put in the wireless charger. I don't even think about it. And this, just like with the Charge Play base, as you can see in the picture, like I can just put it on there and I don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? It's so simple. You don't have to worry about the cable getting in there. You don't have to find a cable. It's just seamless.
How well does it stand up? Right in that picture, you've got it standing. Is it pretty stable when you've got it standing like that?
It's very stable. I wish I could show you.
I didn't know if they had like a magnet in there to kind of get some stability.
So that's one really cool thing about it. And then if you look on the actual, I'll bring up a picture of the actual ear cups. There's actually 4 buttons on them, which is pretty cool. Something we haven't really seen. So on this ear cup, you can see these little indents, and those are actually buttons. So you can use them to, by default, they're set to game in chat balance. And I think, I forget the like top volume, 2. Maybe? I think
you have a volume wheel, don't you?
Yeah, you have volume wheel. So I'm not sure what by default what they're set to, but you can go into their software and set it up. And the software is pretty good. But the thing is that these buttons are only tied to audio control. And I think that HyperX really dropped the ball here, because why not make this a macro? Right? Why not make this anything that I want? Or at least like launch an app, or it's all audio based and multimedia control. There's nothing else that you can do. And I think that if they would have opened that up, it's a whole new level. It's 4 more buttons that I can have that are pretty easy to access. You know what I mean? If I really wanted them to be.
Are they touch sensitive, or are they like tactile buttons?
They're tactile. You press them in. But yeah, and the thing that I really also do like about this is that you don't need the software for every feature on this headset minus customization. So you can plug in the dongle and it works. You can enable 7.1 without software. And a lot of these headsets, you need the software to enable like a 7.1 or a surround sound. With these, you just plug it in and you're good to go. The software allows you to customize and set different things. And another thing about this is, what's kind of weird, is that there's no EQ settings on this in the software. So typically in software, there's like a, you have your default EQ, which you can customize yourself, but then there's presets for games. There's movies, a game, movie, whatever. It's not there.
Interesting. It seems like a pretty big miss on the software.
Yeah, that's, like I said, the software is basically this screen right here. You have a volume slider. You can obviously mute the headset. Microphone slider. You can turn your side tone on and off. You can turn surround sound on and off. there's auto optimize, which basically optimizes the headset for Apex Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, PUBG, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, CSGO, and Overwatch, which is great. But again, like, what if I want to set my own EQ settings? You know, I don't have the ability. And then you have just the game chat balance, which is nice to see in the headset as well. And then the second thing is just those buttons, like I said, and then they're just, you know, all multimedia controls. And that's all you have. There's no fine tuning of the headset, which I would have liked to have seen. Yeah. So because, at least for me, again, it's more plasticky than it is metal. And because they kind of dropped the ball on the software with the buttons and everything like that, I gave it an 8 out of 10. It is decently expensive at $159.99. Now you have to think that it is completely wireless. You are getting 7.1, and you're getting wireless charging, which kind of ups that price, but that puts it in range with the non-SE version of your Virtuoso headset, right?
Yeah.
And again, I haven't used your Virtuoso headset, so I'm not specifically sure on quality. And does the Virtuoso have or have like 7.1 or? So again, I don't know how those sound. One thing I didn't cover, it does have the mic, which I have disconnected, but it has, you know, the little mic here that you can plug in. It sounds decent. It's not amazing by any means, and we've talked about that over and over again with headset mics. They're not going to sound great. But yeah, like I said, $159.99, 8 out of 10. Wireless charging, which I think is the big thing here. And the 7.1 is not bad. It's just not as good as THX spatial audio, in my opinion. So yeah.
Actually, you know what? The Virtuoso is not. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. It is 7.1.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
A lot of people were asking about
I don't use it, so I had to I was like,
yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, the 7.1 is good. I liked it. I played a lot of Apex Legends with it. It's just, I don't feel it's as accurate as THX spatial audio, at least in my opinion. So take that for what it is. But yeah, we'll move on from there to Case Mod Friday, and we have an awesome build this week. I think this is a perfect. I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is a perfect, like, it's a computer on one side and it's an art piece on the other. And I hate when, not that I hate it, but we see these builds that are like an art piece and you don't see the computer components.
Right.
This build is an art piece on one side and a computer on the other that you can distinguish, which I think is really cool.
Like, I'm usually not a fan of that kind of, I don't know, that build. I love this thing. This looks awesome.
And what's kind of interesting is this is done in the Core P5, which has been out for a very long time. And this is by Tim Pile. And he put it on this sort of like, he just adjusted the angle of it. And I think, you know, this is the computer side, as you can see, custom grills that he made, water cooling with this. I don't know if this is, I assume this is completely custom, res
the distro
and distro and everything like that. You know, but the colors that he chose and how it looks like this is really awesome. And you get like, this is a computer, like you can see, you know,
your components, right?
You know, but on the other side, it kind of like, look at that. Like, and that like reminds me of,
right? With the sun.
What's that thing called where you put the lights at
Light Bright?
Yeah. It reminded me of a Light Bright almost. Yep. But what he's done is he's cut these custom tubes and put lighting behind them, so it gives that kind of cool effect, as you can see. I think it's awesome. I know a lot of people kind of like hate on these type of builds, but I think, you know,
I would love to see, like, I don't think this is the case, but if each one of those like tubes was individually lit and you could have some sort of flowing animation across it, or
I'm not sure if it.
I don't believe it is, but
yeah.
It's still impressive nonetheless.
Yeah, I just think it's cool. It's different. I don't think we've seen a Core P5 build like this at all. But again, the components look pretty awesome on the one side, and then you can turn over and have an art piece, which I think is really cool. And I think this is cool because, like, if I had to sit in here, like, you know, you get bored of your computer just sitting there. You can have your computer, and then you get bored, you can just flip it around, right? And then you have your cool little art piece on your desk. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, definitely check this one out. I think it's really awesome. I love the colors. I love just how it looks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
cool.
is all soft tubing too, and it's not hard tubing, so it's kind of different.
Oh, it's not?
Well, I don't believe so. It looks like soft tubing just the way it's bent, but it could be hard tubing that's bent like that, but I think it's soft tubing. Could be wrong, but
that's
I
cool.
can't tell. But in any case, definitely check this one out. Really, really good job on this one. So just to make it different from your typical Core P5 build, I think it's pretty cool that way. But yeah, let's jump into news. Obviously, a lot of you guys know what's going on in the world with all the craziness. But before we get to that craziness, one big thing, I wouldn't say it's super big. A lot of people are making a big deal about it, but I don't feel that it's a massive deal.
Yeah, I expected it. I mean, it was bound to happen.
Yeah, because again, so Bill Gates stepped down from his board position at Microsoft. He also stepped down from Berkshire Hathaway. He's already been pretty inactive at Microsoft. He's on the board, obviously, to make like those big decisions, but I don't think that he's done any, like, that's not his focus anymore at all.
Right.
It hasn't been. If you've seen the documentary on him, I think it's on Netflix. Really awesome documentary. So
yeah, I need to see that.
Definitely check that one out. But I think it's like a 5-part series or something. But yeah, he stepped down and he said he wants to focus more on, giving back and things like that. Again, for me, it's not a big deal. I don't know what much else to say about it, but a lot of people are making a big deal. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a pretty big, like, without him and Microsoft and Windows, like the world of computing would be so different, right?
Yep.
Or may not even like exist. I mean, I don't know if I need to go that far, but I mean, he was a huge player in the game, so him just kind of distancing himself away from that company that he built, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I think it's a decent, yeah. That's pretty much all we know. I mean, there wasn't like,
it's not like he was like feuding with people or anything.
Yeah, or anything like that. So yeah, take it for what you will. But yeah, Bill Gates is officially 100% out of Microsoft. I'm sure he still owns a ton of shares.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on to cases, and we have a new case launch, which actually was launched today, which is really cool. Today. Fractal Design launched a new ITX case called the Era ITX, available in these 5 different colors. And what's kind of interesting is these 3 colors, the black, the blue, and the gold, have tempered glass on the top, and the silver and white have 2 different types of wood on the top, which is kind of interesting. As this came out today, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know it's a 16-liter case. Fits ITX motherboard, graphics cards up to 295 millimeters, which is pretty much, unless you're getting a crazy card, 2 slot cards. It fits, I think, 2 hard drives in there, and it will actually fit a full ATX power supply.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They've kind of taken some internal design cues from that Cooler Master case I reviewed last year. I forget what that one was called, where the power supply actually mounts at the front, kind of vertically. It looks pretty awesome. The entire case, the outer part of the case, is aluminum.
Yeah, I think this thing's amazing looking.
Yeah, it's really cool. But the thing that is interesting, we saw the NZXT one. Now we have this one. Like, is this kind of like the lead up to compete against Xbox, the new Xbox?
Yeah. I mean, it has those, that look to it a bit.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know.
I love it. I think it looks
awesome. It's really cool. And I think that for something that, again, you can't tell by the photos, but I mean, that's like a speaker that, like,
well, then look at the headset next to it.
Yeah, the headset next to it, that you can put mini ITX, 16-core Ryzen. You can fit a 240 mil AIO in here. They had it with their own AIO. RTX 2080 Ti. That's, and you can do NVMe and 2 SSDs. I mean, that's like a pretty awesome system.
It's a beast, yeah. In
a very small form factor. Now, going on to pricing, it is decently expensive for an ITX case. $159.99.
Okay.
Are you okay with that price?
I am.
You are.
Yeah.
You're a fanboy.
I'm digging this thing, man. I think it's awesome.
It is. I would like to see it in person.
It's aluminum, right? Like,
Yeah.
just look at, I mean, those angles and what they've done to the exterior of it. The inside layout, the images I saw of it today looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I've watched a couple videos on it. It looks good.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch any videos, but I'm definitely
and I believe
it comes with 3 fans, 3 80mm fans.
Oh, nice. That is pretty nice. That does come. That is a plus then. And I believe this top panel. So on all of them, you'll get the ones that come with glass. You'll get glass. The one that come with wood, you get wood. But you'll also get a high airflow panel, just like we saw in their Define 7. So you also get that included. So that makes the price more reasonable for me. So yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I love the blue. I think
I
gold
really like the
good.
blue. I saw a couple videos with the gold. I'm not the biggest fan. I really would like this white with the wood.
It almost reminds me of that Inwin case.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they look totally different, but just that white aesthetic with the wood top.
Yeah. So yeah, check this out. I believe it's available today, starting today. So head on over to Amazon or Newegg or wherever you buy your PC components. And if you want to, get one, it's awesome little ITX build you could do in this for sure. So
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, definitely go ahead and check that out. And we don't want to talk about it a ton, but obviously coronavirus is what's going on right now. I'm sure a lot of you guys are social distancing and being at home. I think us being PC gamers, we're kind of used to that. But I think the whole world's freaking out. But as PC gamers and as people who have computers, we can actually help the cause or help find a cure. I know a lot of you guys have probably heard of Folding at Home. It is a project, distributed computing project where basically you use your CPU or GPU power to do computations for researchers in different, I think they were like doing Hodgkin's disease, cancer, and
protein folding. That's where it came from, man. I folded for years and years on a team.
Yeah. So what they have done is they've set it up so you can help researchers with coronavirus, which I think is really great. And there's so many of us that have a CPU, or your computer sits there all day where you're not there. You can even have it run while you're doing stuff as well. I've had it running since we set up our team. So we've set up a Folding at Home team, and I run it in the background. I'm not running it now because we're podcasting, obviously. And I don't want to cause anything. But I have it set to medium and I have it set to while I'm working, and it runs in the background. It doesn't really cause me any issues. I haven't tried it while I'm gaming. Obviously, I don't think it would work that well. But basically, again, it uses your CPU and GPU to do these computations and things like that. And, it just helped the cause. It's not, obviously it's not going to find a cure, but it's going to help that cause, and it's going to root out the computations and things or theories that might not work as well for a faster way to find a cure. And I think that's the biggest thing. So it's super easy. We have the directions here. You download the software. You can just start folding right away. But we have created a ThinkComputers team if you want to join it. The number of the team is right here. It's 242-628. And you just put that in at the beginning. And then when it says I support research fighting, you just click on any disease and it will automatically do it for coronavirus, because that's, obviously super important right now. And it just runs in the background. Obviously, it's using your CPU and GPU resources, so obviously keep that in mind. But I think it's a great thing. And if anybody needs help setting this up, join our Discord. We have a link to our Discord here as well. I put it in there the other day, but if you guys need help setting this up or not sure if it's working, just jump in our Discord. I'm always in there. Ryan's in there pretty often as well, and we'll get you set up. Now, it may take a little bit of time. I had it installed for a few hours and I didn't get any, computation sent my way, but then I eventually did, and it runs pretty steadily now. So check that out. And you can track your stats. You get points, and it's kind of like a point system. And then our team gets points as we do more computations and things like that. So I just think it's a really great thing. I think that if us as, us PC guys, if we can do something to help this cause, I think it's a great thing. So So definitely go ahead and download it and start your folding.
Cool.
And then talking about coronavirus, NVIDIA initially, like most of these big events, GPU Technology Conference or GTC was canceled and then turned into an online event.
Right.
And then it went from an online event to them saying, we'll release the news on the day, but it's not going to be broadcast. We'll just put it out to press. Like we'll put a press release of what we're talking about, and that's it. And now they're just holding off in general.
Mm-hmm.
And you talked about this a little bit today, how like all the news is coronavirus. We don't even want to talk about it, but I think talking about how it affects tech is important to,
Mm-hmm.
You guys are our audience, but that's all that the news is. That's all everybody's worried about. And I think that people are worried about their safety, their children's safety, safety of loved ones, having, money right now, because a lot of people who work hourly are kind of screwed right now. So to put out news about new GPUs or whatever, I don't think it's the right time.
Sure.
So no GTC news till further notice. We have no clue when that will be, probably after all the dust settles on all of this stuff. So if you're looking for a GPU announcement coming up, it's not coming. So,
yep.
So
and I think that's probably. I'm hoping that I have a feeling that that's why they're kind of doing that. Announcing new products is, I don't know, tough right now. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I wouldn't take this as, oh, they are having problems because of this, right? Like, no, this is a product they've been working on for a long time. It's already like ready to go. They're just holding off to release because of the environment. I don't think they're having any issues with production or with the technology itself.
Well, I mean,
maybe production.
Coming to our next story has a lot to do with production. A new report by DigiTimes, who is pretty good at getting sources close to companies, has said that because of coronavirus, and we don't realize that, when the outbreak happened, like factories shut down completely. And, when it wasn't such a big deal, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, when it was a massive deal in China, all those factories shut down. Well, that affects the supply chain going forward. So motherboard and graphics card shipments are hitting all-time low levels as far as, the shipments and orders and things like that. Obviously, it has a lot to do with that supply chain. And, China in general is like on lockdown. And, the demand in China is reported to be down 50% year over year, which is pretty significant. And typically you see an increase in demand, entering Q3. And that's probably not going to happen. It's also reported that AMD, Intel, and NVIDIA are highly unlikely to hit their sales goals for this period. So that's like another reason why, possibly that NVIDIA is just holding off that news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have the supply chain to sell the product. You don't want to waste all the marketing budget to not have available product as well. And it's just like with everything, it's just like not the right time to be. Although Apple had their, they announced new MacBook and new iPad Pro, which is pretty awesome actually if you're on iPads. But they announced all that today. But in any case, it's just not the right time. So but the only good thing I see out of this is because of the low demand, prices might drop on certain products, specifically graphics cards and motherboards. So that would be the good thing to take out of it. But obviously, what's going on in the world, we don't want that to be the reason why we're getting better prices on graphics
on gear,
cards.
right?
Yeah, on gear, for sure. And then we talked about this. I just knew this was going to happen. Obviously, it's not confirmed. But yesterday, Taiwan banned all foreign visitors into their country. If you're coming from somewhere else, you're not allowed in the country.
You ain't getting in.
If you were on your way there, you're mandatory 14-day quarantine. But going forward, no foreigner is allowed in Taiwan. And of course, Taiwan is where you have Computex, which is the biggest, I would say that is the biggest show for hardware specific graphics card, motherboard, cases, things like that for our industry. And Computex happens in July, but with things in this global pandemic happening, I just don't see it happen. I just don't. So I don't think we're gonna have a Computex this year. It'd be interesting to see what companies do.
In June. Did you say? I think you said July, but it's typically in June. First week of June.
Yeah, sorry, in June. I'd be interested in seeing what all these companies do, because I think that we do have new product coming out. So like, will we have all these companies doing like webcasts and things like that?
Yep. I think meetings, for this year and for a lot of these things, I think that just this is going to be the year where, hey, guess what? Here's your meeting time with us. We're going to use this platform to communicate with you across the web. And that's the way it's going to be.
I think that this time is, I've said two things, that this time, as far as like the social distancing and people working from home, is the perfect time to find out when, I can work from home. Like, why doesn't my job have a work from home? Because I can do it and be effective doing it.
Right.
And two, all of these services, like, why do I have to go to the DMV? Like, why? Why can't I do that whole thing online? Like, things like that. Hopefully this whole thing makes some of those things become a reality, because I think that we're in a day and age where we can, I can take a picture of a check and I can deposit it into my bank. Yep. Why can't I order a new ID and take a picture of myself for my, like things like that, that I think like government services where like, I don't need to go to this office to do this. Like, I should be able to do it online. That's my thought on it.
Yeah.
Real quick, with E3 canceled, Microsoft will be doing their event online. That's still going on from what I've heard. Okay. So Microsoft will hold their own E3 event online. So if you want to see what the new Xbox is about, but they actually listed the entire hardware specs.
Some pretty sweet gear.
I
was really impressed.
Yeah, so Microsoft revealed the entire Xbox Series X hardware, basically powered completely by AMD, which is a big win for AMD. They're powering the PS5 too. So this is going to be
great.
Buy AMD stock. You should.
Well, one thing we didn't mention earlier about that Fractal case is that they worked with Intel on the design of that. So just kind of going back, right? We're talking about these consoles that are kind of partnered with AMD.
Yeah.
Fractal worked with Intel directly to kind of design that. Not that you have to run an Intel system in it, but just a side note there.
But yeah, so the Xbox, what is this called? I don't even know. The Xbox
Project
Series X.
Yeah.
They, you see the breakdown here of it and everything. Basically, it is going to use an SoC or a system on chip design using Zen 2 architecture, 7 nanometer enhanced, so an enhanced version of 7 nanometer. It's going to have 8 Zen 2 cores. So with SMT, you'll have 16. SMT, for those who don't know, that's just like hyper-threading.
Simultaneous multi-threading. Yep.
Yeah. Good.
Sorry.
No, good. Like, yeah. You always forget what those like words.
You're like,
yeah. But yeah, so you'll have 16 logical processors there. And then you'll have, for the graphics, it will be RDNA 2, which isn't out yet. It will feature real-time ray tracing and support for variable rate shading. The GPU has 52 compute units, which amounts to 3,328 stream processors. And that will run at 1,825 megahertz, giving you a peak compute throughput of 12 teraflops. That's just the GPU. The display engine will support resolutions up to 8K, but the console's like the performance is targeting 4K at 60 FPS and up to 120 FPS. And then the interesting thing is that the memory is running 320-bit GDDR6 memory on the SoC itself. Now, what's interesting is that 10 gigabytes of it will run at 560 gigabytes a second, while 6 will run at 3. So I think that the CPU, like that memory, is the 6 gigabytes.
It's going to have access to that faster stuff.
Yeah. And then the CPU will have access to the slower, and the GPU will have access to
GPU
the
on the
faster.
faster. Gotcha.
I could be wrong. Storage, massive upgrade. Massive upgrade. You're gonna get 1 terabyte NVMe storage, 2400 megabytes a second. Now, and then external storage will also be supported. USB 3.2 Gen 2. So just like this tiny drive, you could connect to there and get 1,000 megabytes a second reading right off that.
That's pretty awesome.
It will have a 4K UHD Blu-ray drive in it as well. So you're getting a Blu-ray player as well. But the thing that's interesting is that you're getting Zen 2, which would be like a Ryzen 3000 series.
I heard something, that it was close to like 3700 series performance.
You're getting a,
video that we don't even have yet.
We don't even have yet. That's at least going to run these Xbox games at 4K 60, at least, if not higher. You're getting NVMe. You're getting 16 gigabytes of GDDR6. You're getting an NVMe drive. And again, this is supposed to be around $500.
That's awesome.
Like, that's awesome. I mean, I'm not really excited for console stuff, but for $500 to get all of that, I might buy one. Yeah. Like to sit in front of my TV and whatever.
Gotta get an 8K TV, but
but like to think about it, like, it even makes sense if you're like, okay, I need, I'm into really good audio and video. Like, I need a Blu-ray player. What's a Blu-ray player? $100?
I don't even know, but yeah, probably
$100. Okay. And then I want to stream, like a decent, like 4K streaming stick is like what, $40-$50?
Yeah. So,
and then some, gaming, or like even like a little Android gaming thing you can get, like it kind of adds up. It's like, why don't I just get an Xbox for $500?
Yeah.
I mean,
and do all these things, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and do all the things, and just it's super easy, and everything's on there, and you don't have to worry about it. I think if they keep that price, it's going to be very compelling to a lot of people.
Yeah, and with that cross-platform compatibility and the being able to play your game on your PC and then move over to your Xbox, and with some titles, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I think that again, if they can keep it in that price range, which right now seems like it's a good deal at that price, it is going to be it's going to be a hard sell to tell somebody who wants the game on buy like a PC, when you can, there's so much more customization on PC and all that stuff, but like for $500, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard because like an RX 5700 XT right now is what, $500? You can have a GPU. Yeah, that's, so we'll see the pricing. No pricing was released, obviously, but that's what consoles sell for. It's like $500. Yeah. So we'll see how all that goes. But big win for AMD. When these come out, their stock should go up. So just take that for what it is right now. But that's pretty awesome, I think. I think it's really cool. I was actually not interested in the Xbox at all, but then seeing the specs and hearing what the price might be, is pretty interesting. Yeah. Now talking about going back to the social distancing thing we're supposed to be doing, it's not hard for us because what do? We play video games, right? We're gonna be gaming after this podcast. Absolutely.
So Steam recorded their highest active user load over this past weekend. More than likely to do with this whole social distancing thing because, kids can't go to school, and it is the weekend, but you know what I mean? Like, people aren't going out and doing the things that they would normally do. Now, these numbers are pretty awesome.
Pretty big.
20.3 million people were logged into Steam. Out of those, 6.4 million people were actively playing a game. That beat the previous record, which was achieved actually back in February, which is 19 million users. And the thing that's interesting is that this didn't even coincide with like a big game launch. Like this week, we have Doom Eternal coming out, which would be like the big game launch, but there's no big game launch over this past weekend. 1.02 million people are playing CS:GO. 500,000 people were playing PUBG and 500,000 people were playing Dota 2. That's pretty awesome.
Impressive, yeah. That also makes me think of like how the rest of that population is spread across the rest of those games, right? What those numbers look like.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what over 2 million, 2.2 million or so of that, so a third of your online gamers. What's everybody else playing them? I'd be curious to see a little more information on those numbers.
Yeah, I think they pulled it from like their I know this is like publicly available. I just don't know how and I don't know how much info they give, because like these ones are like, I think they do like a top 5 or something maybe.
Okay.
I don't know if they actually give you specific, like if you could just like type in a game and see,
see how popular it was.
Yeah, right? I think they do like a top 5. I'm not specifically sure.
Okay.
That's pretty awesome. But talking about gaming, what do you think? Like the biggest upcoming release is Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
We talked about it. NVIDIA, of course, came out with their custom card, which is pretty awesome. But in the wake of everything that's going on, you might wonder, like, is Cyberpunk 2077 getting delayed again? Because it had already been delayed. But no, CD Projekt Red, the studio behind the game, they put out a statement that says, they've been adapting to the situation and rolling out preventative measures across their entire organization. Basically, people will be working from home, and the game is on track. It's going to be rolling out on the release date in September. You have nothing to worry about, which is, if you like, that's the biggest thing is like, you're so pumped. My buddy Jason, he would he was big into Destiny, and he would take like a week off of work
to play. Wow.
Yeah, to play. So like, you're pumped for this game, and like it had already been delayed. So like, this is good to know that they kind of put it out. Like, it's coming out. We're prepared for it. Like, so no delays, should be coming out there September 17th. So I think I'm gonna get it. I don't know. But also talking about CD Projekt Red, they confirmed, which is like a big deal to a lot of people. I think they confirmed that after Cyberpunk 2077, they will be working on a Witcher title. I never played this game. It has to be popular.
Well,
I know so many people play it. Yeah. And there's the TV show on Netflix, obviously. I never got into this. I know so many people.
Witcher 3 came with my GTX 970, and I installed it, and it looked great, and I played maybe 2 hours of it. It was just a game I couldn't personally get into. I know there's people that love it, and I could see, it looked great, and I don't know, it wasn't for me. But I can definitely see from the success of that game, and then obviously the show that's been a great success. I mean, it just makes sense to keep that train going.
Yeah, they don't know what it's going to be called. We assume in The Witcher 4, right?
Yeah, sure, probably.
But they said a small team at CD Projekt Red has been set up to work on the game, and then larger teams will come, as things progress. It's not like it's going to come out like early next year. It's going to be a while. But I think for Witcher fans, this is like a huge deal. I assume that like DLCs and stuff, like they're kind of stagnant. I don't know. I mean, I don't play Witcher, but I think it's a really big deal. And I think that, I assume Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be successful, and then to them have another,
another
great
big title in the works.
To follow that up would be really good for them. So maybe that'd be one I get into. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. That is it for news this week. Sorry about all the coronavirus stuff, but obviously we have to let you guys know how it affects tech and kind of what's going on. Coming up next week, I'll be taking a look at two pretty awesome products. One that you saw, I think you saw it at CES. I think it's 2 years ago at CES. Yeah, but the first one is a gaming monitor. It is the MSI Optics MPG 341 CQR. It's actually sitting in front of me. I've been using it for the past week. It is a 34-inch ultra-wide 800R curve. It is 144 hertz refresh rate, which is pretty awesome to have that big screen and game that fast. It also, as you can see, has these light bars at the front. Those are powered by SteelSeries' GameSense, which if you haven't used SteelSeries software, it's one of the best. And basically, they have profiles for every game, almost every game, like every major game out there. And these bars will react to what's going on in your game, as long as you have the software installed, which is pretty awesome. RGB lighting on the back and everything like that. Like I love the 34-inch. That's what I had before. Obviously, the one that I had previously was 100 hertz. This is 144. So
that'd be nice.
Yeah, nice little gaming monitor there. I've been testing it, like I said, for the past week. So it's a pretty awesome monitor so far, but I'll let you guys know next week, how awesome it is. And then I'll be taking a look at the Patriot Viper VPR 100. Now, this is a Gen 3 NVMe solid state drive, but the big difference with this one is that it's the one that has the RGB lighting built in. Now, the interesting thing about this one is with a lot of RGB products, we see the RGB lighting built into it looks like it's built into this cooler, but it's actually not. The RGB LEDs are on the actual drive itself. So they're on the drive, and then these just act as like a diffuser for those. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, if you're into the RGB thing, this is obviously the drive you're looking at. It's very fast as well. 3,300 megabytes a second read, 2,900 megabytes a second write. So I'll have that for you guys as well. I've had that for like a month, so I've been really trying to get into this review. So all of that for you guys. And yeah, I did. Let me try to bring it up here. I was making a list because I was going to write an article on like free games that you can play right now, because I think that a lot of people might be strapped for cash. And what's great is that a lot of these really fun games are free right now. And that's kind of like, instead of talking to you about like what the stuff I did this week, because I think I just worked on reviews mostly. But like we just talked about, like Counter-Strike Go, that's 100% free. You can play it on Steam. It's such a good team game. Another great team game that is free, 100% free, is Team Fortress 2. It's been out for so long, which means
still so popular though.
If you're home right now and you're on, like, you don't have a crazy gaming PC, like both CS:GO and Team Fortress 2 will play on your computer. Absolutely. For the most part. So those are two great team games. Now I have a looter shooters. So Destiny 2 is free. They changed it to a free game, so you can get that for free and play it. One that I played for a little while ago, and I can't believe it's still like as popular as it is. It is a really good game. Is Warframe. That's again 100% free game.
Did you like that? You played that?
Yeah, it's fun. I played it for a little while.
I like went into some of the intro and then I just like, nope.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But again, it's free. Like Warframe is free. Yeah. Battle Royales.
Fortnite, Apex.
There's obviously the big ones are Fortnite, Apex, but the new Call of Duty. So if you're like a Call of Duty person, they have Call of Duty Warzone, which is their free to play game. So you can definitely check.
So you don't have to own Modern Warfare. Okay,
correct. It's 100% free. They do it all through BattleNet. So if you have BattleNet, definitely you can just download it for free. Cool. MOBAs, Dota 2, big one, obviously. MMOs. EVE Online is free for MMOs, and then like War Games.
EVE is free,
from what I saw. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's not. Could be wrong. I was making this list the other day.
Whoa! EVE Online is now free to play.
Yeah. And then like War Games, you have World of Warships, War Thunder, and World of Tanks, all free. And then fighter games are like one that you can probably play with your friends is Brawlhalla.
Yep.
It's kind of like a fighter game. So that's my list. That's like
cool.
I asked you if there's any shows that people should get into since they're going to be stuck at home. Like,
there's like a couple that it's on HBO, but McMillionaires. I've been listening to a podcast and they had like I don't know if it was the producers of that show. So like the McDonald's Monopoly game.
Yes.
That you play. So for a string of years, that was all rigged, and the people that won were essentially chosen and paid for, and like it was not legit winners.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a series on that. So supposedly that's supposed to be pretty good. I haven't had a chance to to watch it. Trying to think of any other shows. I tried to start watching Avenue 5, I think it was, on HBO also. It's got Hugh Laurie from what was the show he was on where he's the doctor that's kind of an
I don't even know
a-hole.
who that is.
What? Yeah, you
I don't know
do.
who that is.
Yeah, you do.
I don't watch a whole lot of shows. That's why I pick the games and I let you do the shows.
All right. Okay. I don't know. Whatever he was on. He was on a House. Jeez.
Okay, yeah.
That guy. But I couldn't get into it either. And I swear we watched a movie. Oh, we watched Frozen 2, right? So Disney Plus, they released Frozen 2 a little early. So
That's what I've heard
the other
too.
night.
So with this whole thing,
A couple movies they did that.
There
right?
will be some movies that like were supposed to come out that will come out. And that's another thing. Like maybe this is the time where we will see finally it will be in line
a dual release.
Yeah, like a dual release on streaming and at the same time or something like that. Like I still want like Project Blue Book is awesome. If you haven't seen that. Anything like I'm trying to think of any tech related shows. I haven't really, but like YouTubers like us obviously on here, but there's so many great tech YouTubers. There's so much like awesome online content. So while you're home, while you're stuck at home, just some awesome online content.
Like learn something, right? Like sit down and
it's a perfect
cooking
time.
or just
or like home workouts and
exactly
all kinds of stuff. So it's like a great way to like discover what's online, not your typical like news. And I don't even have cable because I just don't watch TV. Mm-hmm. So it's just a great way to discover all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the situation isn't like that's not the reason.
Everybody just gets to stay home and watch TV.
Yeah, like that's not really. But yeah, guys, that is basically it. We want to obviously tell everybody to like stay safe out there, be smart. Yep. Again, great time to either learn something new, play some video games with us. Like I said, jump on our Discord and just say you want to play some games. I'm always sitting here and we're going to be playing some Apex after this on Twitch, twitch.tv/ThinkComputers, but play some games. Like learn something, like learn Adobe Photoshop, learn Premiere. There's tons of free YouTube things you can do that. Find creators. It's just a great time to really, use your computer to its full needs. And again, if you're just not going to use your computer, don't let it just sit there. Load up folding at home. Again, we had that article where we showed you how to do that, and you can help the cause as well. But until next week, guys, we will catch you later.